We're in Revelations 1 and 1. The revealing of Mashiach Yahushua, what he looked like. So, because I showed you pictures in the Bible that they painted of themselves, the Edomites. So this is how he looked. Revelation 1 and 1. The revelation or the revealing of Mashiach Yahushua, which the Most High gave unto him to show unto his servants who are the 12 tribes of Israel, things which must surely come to pass, and he sent and signified it by his angel unto his servant John, right? So let's jump down to verse 14 and 15, right to the point. His head and his hairs were white like wool. White, fully white. Just like you see my beard is woolly and it's white. The texture of it was woolly though, nappy. As white as snow. So when he's seeing him as a elderly man, because this is approximately between 90 AD to 96 AD. And his eyes were as a flame of fire. Now it's going to describe his feet. And his feet like unto fine brass, as if they burn in a furnace. So you burn anything in a furnace, it's going to be very, very dark. And his voice as the sound of many waters, okay? So his feet like unto fine brass, if it burned, as if it burned in a furnace. You with that? Now, Daniel had a vision of him also. In Daniel's 10, 5 and 6. See, the answers are in the precepts. Daniel's 10, 5 and 6. Then I lifted up my eyes and looked, and behold, a certain man clothed in linen, whose loins were girded with fine gold of Uphaz, the best gold. He had a golden girdle around his waist. As he's seeing him, it's in a vision too. His body also was like the beryl. So I looked up beryl in the Compact Bible Dictionary, because a lot of brothers think that beryl is green. I ain't seen no green person. But I know what we've seen so far and heard so far. And when you look up beryl, it says beryl. It says jasper. It says brown. How about that? It says beryl. It says brown. Okay? So that makes sense to me from what we're reading so far. So Daniel's 10 and 6, it said his body also was like the beryl or brown, and his face as the appearance of lightning, for all the knowledge was understanding were illuminating from him when he's seeing it, and his eyes as the lamps of fire, and his arms and his feet. So Daniel seen his arms and his feet, like in color. So color is in the Bible. Because remember, we just read the color of Esau, which was red. His feet, like in color, to polished brass. We know that polished brass from Revelation 1 and 15 look like it burned in a furnace. And the voice of his words like the voice of a multitude, a very loud voice. Remember, he went out to the ship and talked to people on the shore. So we're seeing that we're breaking down these lies has been taught. And you see that all in their magazines, on their movies, and on the internet, they show themselves to represent the children of Israel. And that's not true. Look at Lamentations 4 and 2, just to deal with the whole 12 tribes. It says, the precious sons of Zion, right, comparable to fine gold, right? So jump up to verse 8. Their visage, I mean their personal facial appearance, is blacker than the coal. You can't get white out of that. You can't get red out of that. Their visage is blacker than the coal. Say. So now, also we can go to Isaiah 48 and 1. Hear ye this, O house of Jacob, O family of Jacob, O 12 tribes of Israel, which are called by the name of Israel. You see, Jacob, our forefather, Jacob's name was changed to Israel. We became the 12 tribes of Israel. And are come forth out of the waters of Judah. See? Came forth out of the waters of Judah. You see? So all 12 tribes come forth out of the waters of Judah. How did Judah look? That's Jacob's fourth-born son. Jeremiah 14:2. Jeremiah 14:2. Judah, Jacob's fourth-born son, mourneth, and the gates thereof language. How they look? They are black unto the ground. Different shades of brown, y'all. Different shades of brown. Black unto the ground. Not white unto the ground, not red unto the ground, but black unto the ground. The dirt is different shades of brown. So now, Mashiach Abishai to tell you in Hebrews 7:14, since we know the Jews are black, or different shades of brown, for it is evidence of fact that our power, Mashiach Yahushua, our master, sprang out of Judah, came out of the tribe of Judah. Okay? So he was asked a question. In St. John 14:8, he was asked a question by Philip. He said, what did he ask him? He said, Philip said unto him, Master, show us the Father. I don't like to use that word Lord because when I looked up Baal, let me show it to you in the Zondervan Compact Bible Dictionary, you know, so they say you want to keep something much you put in a book. So a lot of times you got to go into these books and read. So when I looked up B-A-A-L, I looked up B-A-A-L, and you see what it says right next to it? L-O-R-D. And that's what we were dealing with. We were dealing with that kind of worship. So, and don't be, I mean, anytime they say, I showed you, they say they're the Most High. They say they're Mashiach Abishai. They say they're everybody in the Bible. I just showed it to you in picture form. That's from 1608 all the way to today. Turn on TBN, you're going to see this. They got their pictures up there. So Philip asked Mashiach Abishai a question. Since we know that Mashiach Abishai had hair of wool, nappy hair, nappy should make you happy, since you know that, you know, he had nappy hair. And he was looking like his feet like to fine brass had been burned in the furnace. Very, very dark-skinned man. Philip asked him a question. St. John 14:8. Philip said unto him, Master, show us the Father, and it suffices us. So he said, hey, show us the Father to satisfy us. Mashiach Abishai said unto him, have I been so long with you, and yet hast thou not known me? Philip, he that hath seen me hath seen the Father, like father, like son. And how sayest thou then, show us the Father? Believest thou not that I am in the Father, and the Father in me? The words that I speak unto you, I speak not of myself, but the Father that dwelleth in me, he doeth the works. Believe me that I am in the Father, and the Father in me, or else believe me for the very work's sake. See? So he said, like father, like son. You seen me, you seen the Father. So we know Mashiach Abishai had hair of what? Wool. So Daniel seen a vision of the Most High. Look at Daniel 7 and 9. Let me go to verse 1 so you understand how this came about to Daniel. It say, Daniel 7:1, in the first year of Belshazzar, king of Babylon, Daniel had a dream and visions of his head upon his bed when he slept. You see? Then he wrote the dream and told the sum of the matters, right? Because when you look at Job 33 and 14, Job 33 and 14, For the Most High speaketh once, yea twice, yet man perceiveth it not. In a dream, in a vision of the night, when deep sleep falleth upon men, and slumbers upon the bed, as you see Daniel's is saying he was slumbering, and he's having his dream. Then he openeth the ears of men, and sealeth their instruction, that he may withdraw man from his purpose, from whatever you want to do as a man, and hide pride from man. You see? So that's why you see in Daniel 7:1, it says, in the first year of Belshazzar, king of Babylon, Daniel had a dream, see? And visions of his head upon his bed, just like we just read in Job 33:14, 15 down. Then he wrote the dream and told the sum of the matters, right? So now we see in Daniel 7:9, he said, I beheld till the thrones were cast down. This is powers and authority on this earth being cast down, as we done read what's going to happen. And the Ancient of Days did sit. Ancient of Days is the Most High. Ain't nobody more ancient than the Most High. Job 36:26. Who was talking about the Most High? Job 36:26. Behold, the Most High is great, and we know him not. Neither can the number of his years be searched out. That's why he's the Ancient of Days. The number of his years cannot be searched out. So going back to Daniel's 7:9, Salakia, I beheld till the thrones were cast down, to powers and authority on this earth, as the Mashiach shall come, the judge and make war, and shut down all the kingdoms that's set up on this earth. He said this in a dream. Prophecy. And the Ancient of Days, who is the Most High, did sit, whose garment was white as snow, and the hair of his head like the pure wool. So hey, like father, like son, pure nappy hair. His throne was like the fiery flame, and his wheels as burning fire. So this is like to telophany, which allows you to see the Most High, because the Most High, I tell you in St. John 4:24, is a spirit, and they that worship him must worship him how? In spirit and in truth. So just like I say, it's a dream. He's giving him a description of him if he were to be of flesh, but he's a spirit. That's why when you look at Colossians, go to Colossians, the 1st chapter, and verse 14, Colossians 1:14, in whom we have redemption through his blood, through a Mashiach blood. We the Israelites, even the forgiveness of sins. You know, Acts 5:30 and 31. So you know it's talking about the Israelites. Acts 5:30 and 31. The power of our fathers, who's the power of who? Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, Acts 3:13. Power of our fathers. The power of our fathers, power of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Raised up a Mashiach whom ye slew and hanged on a tree. Not a cross, but he was hung on a tree. Him who was a Mashiach hath the Most High exalted with his right hand to be a prince and a savior, for to give repentance to Israel and forgiveness of sins. Okay, now you go back to Colossians 1:14, makes sense, right? In whom we have redemption through his blood. Redemption to Israel and forgiveness of sins. Even the forgiveness of sins to the Israelites. Because he said in Matthew 15:24, but he answered and said, I am not sent but unto the lost sheep of the house of Israel. In whom we have redemption through his blood, even the forgiveness of sins, who is the image of the invisible power. There it is. Let you know the Most High is invisible. Ain't nothing you could put before you that will allow you